Hey YouTube, Longways Post 1975. Yeah, there's a question down there. Does Google have the right to change or essentially ruin the functionality of YouTube when it was never their site in the first place? It was not something they created, it was not their vision. It was someone else's, gamble or chance that they took. Now, this video is inspired by a couple of things. One, obviously, I did a kind of joke video about it, but I said a couple of harsh words, I should say, sorry, about Google, and I stand by them because it's no secret that I'm not a fan of Google, and I've often spoken out when they've implemented new changes or rolled out new things or removed things, such as they did very recently, or they will do very, soon, with the video responses and changing the sub page and the various sort of layouts and things like that. I've always said what I thought about it. More often than not, I've been displeased, and I don't understand why they've done something, because something's not broken, don't fix it. And it's usually, more often than not, it's made it more complicated or cumbersome to use. But yes, and I got a PM from someone, when you get a new subscriber and they make a point of checking out, quite a lot of your old videos, and I think it must be because I badmouthed Google instead about the video responses, and they checked out, quite a few of my other videos where I talk about Google, and they asked me a simple question, which this question is based upon. Well, they said, does Google have the right to do this to YouTube when it was, it's not their sites in the first place? To some degree, it's our site more than it is theirs. They've just bought it and now they seem to be dicking around with it and ruining everything that was good about it. Do they have the right to do that? Or should they at least consult or run it by those who use it on a daily basis, those who produce content for it? Excuse me. And I thought that was a really, really good question. And I thought, there's no right or wrong answer. As I say, taste is a preference. So I thought I'd really like to know what you think. Now, here's the thing. Bottom line is, Google can do whatever the hell they want to do to YouTube because they own it. They bought it. That's the nature of the beast, the market, or capitalism. The bigger boy bought out the little boy. So they can own it. Yeah, so they can do what they want because they own it. Doesn't mean I like what they've done. It absolutely does not. It's just that's the way it works. But that does annoy me because, as I kind of touched upon, which is Google was someone else taking a chance, way back, and it was a gamble. No one knew it was going to work. On paper, it sounded absolutely stupid. If you think about it, right back at the start when it's first introduced, if someone tried to pitch that to you, you just think, wow, man, you're crazy. And these people took this chance, and it grew and it grew, and it attracted people. And it was these people who attracted their artistic vision, their personality. It was what they did, what they produced, their wealth of material that basically made this website a success. Without them, it wouldn't exist. That's the bottom line. So, hell yeah, Google, before they do, I'm not saying everything, absolutely every change, but they're going to implement something big that could impact people, put people off from, producing lots of videos or just make one or two, then they should ask them. Because these are the people who pay their bills, fund their servers, advertising on their videos. That's where they make their money. So, is it wise to piss off, essentially, well, I wouldn't say your employees because they're not, but you know what I mean, the people who basically make your content. I mean, I know you're hosting it and it's expensive, but it does come back to what I said, which is they pay your bills. So, as I said, I'm not saying like, oh, we're going to change this colour, maybe we should ask all these people. And I don't know how you would do it. It's a hypothetical question, maybe a poll or a questionnaire or something. Hell, you could even do it in a video on YouTube. Excuse me, but I honestly think, while they can do what they want, they should have asked for the input from the users, because the users are basically what has made this site, and it's worked fine for a long, long time. And I know it's an old adage, which is if it's not broken, don't fix it. But yeah, hell yeah, I think they should have asked them. I mean, it just seems incredibly, incredibly arrogant. I just don't like their approach. Which we know best. People will still use it because even though it may be the biggest file, sharing of video sharing sites in the world, you can't consistently piss off people without paying some sort of an inevitable price. But here's my main problem with the way, Google's gone about business, which is I accept that change is inevitable. I accept that, things are ultimately going to move forward. You can't stay stagnant in a market when you have competitors, even if your competitors aren't as big as you. It's important to constantly, progress forwards, to stay ahead of the game and stuff like that. So change is inevitable, but at the same time, change should be something done for the positive that ultimately is going to benefit everyone, and not just Google themselves, but all the people who use this website. I think more often than not, particularly recently, the stuff that Google's done, such as they're going to get rid of video responses, is ultimately it's to try and push you onto their products, and this is what pisses me off. Things like Google Plus, because more often than not, most of their products, you know, are used, but they never really took off in the way that they thought they would. And so the way to get them to take off, you know, to not accept that maybe you didn't get it right, you know, that maybe something was wrong there, just to say no, we will make people use it. You can't make people use anything they don't want to use, because if they didn't like it, then if you force it upon them, they will resent it more. I don't like this. We're going to chip away at YouTube. We're going to start removing stuff that people have grown accustomed to, that is beneficial, useful, productive, and well, liked. We're just gonna remove all kinds of stuff and piss people off left, right, and centre, because ultimately it's in our interest to make them use our products. That is the poorest, it's, you know, fucking pathetic excuse for change ever, which is, if you don't like it, we're gonna make you like it. That is absolutely retarded. So yeah, I'm waffling. Sorry, but you know, the question I want to ask is, does Google have the right to, you know, change or, you know, ruin the functionality of a website that was never their vision in the first place? You know, that they never created, they just bought because, well, they were well off. Do they have that right? Or, you know, is it something that ultimately should have been, you know, decided by those who use it on a daily basis, you know, those who create the content for it, those who absolutely love and adore it and have used it from day one and pour their heart and soul into it? Anyway, I would really like to know what you think. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.